Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
For all those hot, muggy days like you have today in Rochester, New York, or anywhere up and down the East Coast, you want to call Taylor 500 Help for all your air conditioning needs. Taylor 500 Help can make sure it all happens for you. It is muggy outside. It's nice when you walk inside and you go, it is nice and air conditioned here at the We the People Podcast Network because of Taylor Heating and Plumbing. They came in and installed the air conditioning units, and it's amazing. Since 1947, Taylor has been supplying you with great sales and service. You might want to think, hey, Kimberly, what else besides air conditioning does Taylor Heating and Plumbing provide? Well, duct cleaning, air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, and comprehensive maintenance plans. And of course, they do financing as well. So you want to make sure that your house is warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Call Taylor 500 Help. And if you want your lawn to look amazing, Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster, open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturday 9 to noon. Precision Lawn and Garden has been providing Rochester and the surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. If you want your lawn to look the best in the neighborhood, you got to go get one of those big daddy of all lawnmowers from Kimberly and Justin at Precision Lawn and Garden. They also have blowers and chainsaws. They have new models, on sale models, all still products. Cub Cadet, Ferris, and Toro. It's Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. And of course, your driveway, if it's looking kind of you want to call Express Sealers because nothing makes your curb appeal look nicer than a freshly sealed driveway. It always looks amazing. Call Express Sealers. They are not one of those door knocker sealing companies that said, hey, we've got some extra stuff. You want us to throw it in your driveway? No, they protect your investment. They power trim your edges. They treat grease spots. They do it all. Call Express Sealers today, 645-2010. That's 645-2010. And make sure you support our advertisers because they support the We the People Podcast Network.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in cloudy, rainy, 73-degree Irondequoit, New York.
Hi.
Her only true skills are water skiing and drinking, but we love her anyway.
Is that the right order?
Here's Kimberly Ray.
Hi, it is Kimberly's Revolution. Welcome to the podcast.
We're here.
We the People Podcast Network. We are here. It is Tuesday. It is August 17th.
Oh
my God, is it August 17th? And we are here. We hope everyone is great from Kimberly's Revolution Land. Tomorrow on the show, we have Rob Astorino from downstate, Westchester.
I've heard of him.
From Westchester County. We're going to talk to him. He has run for governor. That is on tomorrow's show. Today's show is called Fail to Plan, Plan to Fail. I know that's like on a Pinterest board somewhere that you probably have up in your workout studio or in your office somewhere. Maybe you have a plaque on your office door at work. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And the colossal failure that is Afghanistan, that is Kabul. And we're going to get into that today. I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Express Sealers, Precision Lawn and Garden, and Taylor 500 Help. They are fantastic, as always. Please make sure that you reach out and go to our sponsors because they do sponsor us. And Fantuzzo's Acupuncture has been on with us since day one. Since day one, they have been with us. And of course, Precision Lawn and Garden and Taylor followed up, quite nicely afterwards. And we appreciate every single one of them. We also want to say a big shout out to Fitz at Rockvox Productions over in Bushnell's Basin. He makes all of this possible. And Austin. What's Austin doing today? How are you?
Hello.
Hello, Austin. Austin and I are having a little bit of argument. about
Shocker.
about a picture, a video I took when I was in Charleston. First off,
Is this about the turkey again?
It's not a turkey.
Well,
all
then
right?
what the hell is it?
Again,
Then why did I label it a turkey in the video?
because you're
Kimberly.
not. I know because
What?
I don't know.
You know,
Because you didn't
just
have-
because you're from Bruckner, Missouri, and
It's
you
Buckner.
know Bruckner.
It's not Bruckner. It's Buckner.
Just because you're from Bruckner,
It's
Missouri,
Buckner.
and you know pigs,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you know turkeys.
Okay. So
Guys from Irondequoit know turkeys.
yeah, you know a lot. So have you ever been to Charleston?
No.
Austin, you ever been to Charleston, South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever been down to the Battery where the actual Civil War started? The first shots
No.
from the Battery of, you got to know your history. So down along the Battery is where we stayed. We stayed a couple of days with my in-laws, and then we spent a night in an actual Charleston.
So did you learn your history from the Holiday Inn Express?
I didn't stay at the Holiday Inn Express. I
Oh.
stayed at one of the original houses right there on the Battery
Nice.
of Charleston, South Carolina. So we're walking down to where the guy who owned the original guy who owned all the Piggly Wiggly grocery stores had one of those mansions on the boulevard of the Battery.
Okay.
And if you're familiar with the Battery in Charleston, South Carolina, they're beautiful houses. They're all different colors. They're pink. They're like aqua. I mean, it's kind of an amazing
Are they
area.
like my shirt? Salmon?
Salmon, yes, they could be. And this guy who owned all the Piggly Wiggly chains decided, you know how instead, back in the day, they put gargoyles up in front of the houses, the big, large, they could do lions or gargoyles, and they were
Why are you doing the Karate Kid move?
they were statues, right? They were big statues that sat on
Or are we doing Thriller?
in the front of the house. So this guy, instead of gargoyles or lions, he had pigs. He had concrete pigs on the. Do we have the picture of that? There you go. There is the mansion on the Battery of the guy who
That's a
owned
polar bear.
that is a pig. He owned the Piggly Wiggly chain of supermarkets. There's
Okay.
not very many around today. They've all been changed into Bi-Lo's. And if you're familiar with Bi-Lo's or maybe Lion King, they've kind of been changed into. But the pigs, even though he doesn't live in the mansion any longer, the concrete pigs are still there. And if you walk around to the side of that house on the Battery, it's got little miniature pigs because that's the side entrance that they probably use most often.
Okay.
But walking around the streets of Charleston, I have no idea what this bird is. It's not a freaking turkey, Austin.
It's a turkey.
It's
All right.
not.
And now a video of a turkey.
What is that?
It's an effing turkey.
It's not. Don't get hit. We're just randomly walking around. Look at that. That is not a turkey. It's too fat to be a turkey.
What are you? I don't know what you are.
Is it a fat pheasant?
I'm saying that to him. What are you? I don't know what you are.
I'm sure somebody knows.
But it's not a turkey.
Matt Fritz would know what that is.
It's not a pheasant. Whatever it is, it's native to South Carolina. And they randomly, kind of like in Key West, where you just have chickens and roosters
Yeah.
walking the streets.
Awesome.
It's not a turkey, Missy. Oh my God. It's not.
Matt Fritz identified our Japanese sparrow on our wallpaper, which we didn't know for 5 years. So
Okay.
Matt Fritz knows what that is.
It's not a pheasant. It's not a pheasant. It's not a peacock.
is it
It's not
a quail?
It's not a quail. I don't know. Play that video again, will you please?
I think peacock wins.
Listen to it though. Listen to it. Listen.
What are you?
Like it's
Don't
gonna.
get hit.
They're just walking around. Bunch of them walking around the street.
Do they fly? Is this like WKRP?
They don't
with Herb
fly.
Tarlick?
I didn't see it fly. Look at it. It's got too fat of a
I
body.
don't know what you are.
Look at me. I don't fly.
It's got
For a good
wings.
reason.
It's got wings. That means it flies,
Well,
right?
just because it's got wings doesn't mean it flies. All right. I'm just gonna say that right now. But it's not. It's not.
It's a turkey.
Austin,
What?
don't say it.
I was gonna say it's a dodo.
The dodo bird.
Yeah, yeah.
Dodo.
Pretty sure it's a
It is
dodo.
not. It's a guinea hen. It's a guinea
It's
hen.
a giddy hen.
That's right, Sue.
All right.
So
Put that right on the screen.
Isn't that
So is it-
racist
That's what I
against
know.
Italians? So that's an Italian racist
damn
bird.
it. That's what someone called, the Italian. I'm not
Hey,
even gonna say
oh,
it.
I'm a hen. Hey.
Oh. That's right. It's an F. Casey, it is not an effing turkey. It is not. Don't
a
make me
turkey.
come over there and have a discussion with your chihuahua, because I will. Casey has chihuahuas. Is a big chihuahua, like kind of like it's a weird faced chihuahua, but it kind of looks like it's not.
So it's not a real chihuahua if it's
Anyway.
a big chihuahua?
So good job. So, it's not an effing turkey. What is wrong with you people today? Again, welcome
So
to
what
Kimberly's
was it? A
Revolution.
guinea
It's
pig?
a guinea hen,
Oh, it wasn't a guinea pig?
which are apparently they're just everywhere in Charleston. And I've never seen them before this last trip to Charleston. And I noticed they're freaking everywhere. They're in the trees. They have and it kind of freaked me out. But anyway,
All right, so let's go to the root words.
It's a part min pin. Okay.
Let's go to the
Right,
root
min
words
pin.
here. Pig
Yeah.
and guinea pig is a small pig, right? What is a guinea pig?
A guinea pig is a small pig.
It's not really a pig. It's just something small.
I don't know.
But then there's turkey.
Yeah.
And then why isn't it a guinea turkey?
Because it's not a turkey.
It's a guinea turkey.
It's a guinea hen.
What's the difference between hen and turkey?
There's a really.
So what's a male guinea hen?
What's the difference between
Is it a guinea-
Tom
is
and
it-
someone with a brain?
Is it a guinea rooster if it's a male?
I don't know. Okay, so I'm done with
Matt,
this
we need
conversation.
help with this, Matt.
Anyway, so that's the little video of some kind of bird that I've never seen before
All
until
right.
I went down to Charleston with my to see my relatives last week. In the meantime, I'll give you just a little update.
Bruckner.
It's a Buckner. My sister-in-law spent some time with my in-laws, and she came to the same determination that we did about my father-in-law's dementia. And now the oldest brother is now spending some time down there. And there's, at some point in time, there's going to have to be a family conversation about what's what. So anybody dealing with dementia in their family, I mean, I now understand.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. It really is. It's heartbreaking to see the change in personality of the person that's just not the person that they once were anymore. And they can't help it. All right. So we're realtors. I'm a realtor.
What?
You're an appraiser.
We are?
We do the We the People podcast network studio out of Revere Realty headquarters, which is right here on Titus in Irondequoit. And
Sure is.
Kimberly's Revolution. We've been doing it here since April. We are, under the umbrella of Revere Realty. You're an appraiser. You're the owner of the brokerage firm, along with Chad Hummel, who's an
Correct.
attorney. I'm a real estate agent. And I will tell you, I'm a little upset. I don't know why Mayor Lovely Warren would not have reached out to me as a realtor to sell her house
Shocker.
on 93 Woodman Park. But it's a great day to be a selling agent. If you're a buyer's agent, it's a little bit more difficult these days, as some of you may or may not know, because inventory is at a
nice.
minimum. There it is.
1942.
93 Woodman Park. If you're in the neighborhood for purchasing, it is listed by a couple of gentlemen, and they've got it listed for $172,900.
Bargain.
The house was built in 1955. And again, it is about 1,700 square feet.
So it's got a family room addition off the back?
This
'Cause it
house-
looks like about 1,300.
I know,
It's got
right?
a family room then.
This house was lived in at some point in time by Lovely Warren. We don't know if she lived
Is there
there.
a plaque out in front?
This is Lovely's house where the great big bust went down.
Do they have a big, post with a, sign in the front yard?
This is the house where her daughter was alone the day that troopers and Monroe County Sheriff and RPD came over to basically, knock down the door and search the house.
Mhm.
This is the house that Lovely Warren sent one of her security staff, not Lovely. Lovely couldn't come get her daughter after the house was busted and troopers were there to look through the house. No. Lovely, as the mother, couldn't do that. She sent one of her security detail to get her. How old is her daughter? 10-year-old daughter. So she's, spent time, owned this house. It's in her name. It is, it doesn't say, it says owner of owner's name on file. They did
Yep.
not list it here on the what we call the MLS listing. And you can't just go see it. You have to make an appointment with the listing agent. You have to be pre-qualified, and then they will take you through personally. It's not a show and go. You just can't show up and at any time and make an appointment on what we call showing time. You have to walk through with the agent who is representing the house, which, is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it says well-maintained colonial on beautiful tree-lined seat that was once owned by Mayor Lovely Warren and her drug-dealing husband, Timothy Granison.
Right.
I don't know if there's any money in the walls. I don't know if there's any drugs hidden in the floor. That would be for you to find out later if you were to purchase the home. But it could be a good deal. They have it listed for $172,900. It's assessed at $103,000. Which you said is what a difference, 60%?
60% increased over assessment. So either it's overpriced,
Mhm.
which probably isn't, or she got a good deal from the city on her taxes for years.
Shocking.
Which
that
she,
would never have happened, Tom.
Which she may not have.
Of course not.
Or the assessor's office is incompetent.
Oh.
That maybe they just undervalued it because they don't know.
Yes. Assessors undervalue many things.
Yeah,
Never.
Could be a lot of
Never.
things.
Assessors never undervalue anything. I mean, listen, I'm not a genius, but I know that assessments go up. They don't stay the same or go down ever.
It's been a couple years.
Ever.
It's been a couple years since the city updated. So 60% is a pretty big number. She'll probably get it. Looks like a nice house.
She says it's move-in ready.
Yeah.
Move-in ready. I don't know if it comes with any of the tape that was, the
caution tape,
the caution tape that the police use, the police tape. I don't know if it comes with its own roll. I mean, I'm unclear. Hey, you guys, it looks like it has a perp sidewalk. I know. I mean, so many beautiful things
right.
with this house. We had heard that she had put it up for sale like a month ago when the actual raid went down on the house. That was untrue. She may have told someone that she was going to sell the house right out from underneath the nose of her husband, the worthless piece of crap that took his daughter on a drug deal. You remember that, Timothy Granison? The Timothy Granison that held up a jewelry store in Greece, and Mayor Lovely Warren married him anyway. You remember that, Timothy Granison? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my thought is that it's in her name. She told him to find somewhere else to live, and he's probably living with one of the other relatives that was involved in the mid-level drug gang.
Right.
And so now the house is for sale.
Just to give all our great residents of the town of Greece and other suburban areas an understanding of taxation.
Please.
This property at $103,000 assessment, the city tax rate is somewhere just short of 6% if you have a commercial property, or 2.8 or 2.9. So the taxes on this house would be about $3,000 a year. Is that what it says on there?
It's $3,408. The taxes on the house.
That's the
You're
true
right.
taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't include the city star. But
did you have both those pictures up there?
But the point is that
Awesome.
This house.
Sorry, what was the other picture?
The other picture, I think, was just it had the listing.
This house with the same taxes in Greece would be probably over $5,000.
Oh, okay.
The same house.
So, all right. So there it is.
So congratulations.
So there's just, you put up the regular picture of the house. So there's the house. If you so are inclined, I can always reach out to me.
Yeah, it's a nice looking house. 93
Woodman Park. I can make an appointment and I can take you through. You have to be pre-approved. And I also have someone you can go through that as well. It is a nice, pretty house in the city.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll sell.
93, the block of Woodman Park is pretty nice.
Is that over by Savoy's Bakery?
It is.
Okay.
You go.
Well, that's worth it right there.
It is.
You walk over to get cookies every day. God, I'd be 3,000 pounds.
I know. The best cookies around, right? And then that flower shop is right there.
Yeah.
Is it Feverante's?
And the donuts place is right around the corner.
They do beautiful flowers, but
Donuts Delight.
You go a block in either direction.
So you got your church. You got the church. You got Donuts Delight.
Right.
You got Savoya's.
Right.
And I think there's a pizza place right there in the corner too. What else do you need?
What else do you need?
Right.
That's right. Donuts and pizza.
Right.
You're all of a sudden you're Homer Simpson.
Yeah, I'm in.
But anyway, so if you're interested in that, I can always help you and reach out to the listing agents.
Okay.
Who, that's a great picture. They're doing a fine job.
Kimberly, I know it's your show and I understand that, but they could reach out to me too,
They could, but you're awfully busy with appraisals.
Okay.
I'm just saying
All right.
is
You don't have to hire just Kimberly.
just Tom, I'm at 6,600 a year in Greece.
Yeah.
That's what Casey says.
Congratulations. Call the tax opposer.
Actually, that's pretty standard in Greece.
Yeah, it probably
for
is.
where Casey lives. I mean, I don't want to.
Well, the difference is, when I was quoting those numbers, the difference is the city hasn't updated since 18, where Greece does annual updates. So they update they update every, every year.
They make sure they get you.
Yeah. So
they make sure they get you.
So your just data is a little more current in the city.
And of course, if I have a listing right now that's a brand new property that's going up in Greece Hilton School District, where it's a ranch, the basement is already poured. So if you're interested in a ranch,
when am I moving in?
1,866 square feet. All right. Plan to fail to plan.
I thought you were going to say parenthood.
Fail to plan is a plan to fail, right? And
that's why I don't plan, because I just plan on failing.
So what are we looking at? We're up to 8 dead in Afghanistan in that airport, in the Kabul airport chaos. That's it? Sickening to watch. And I don't know if that's just the ones that were hanging off of the airplane as the airplane was taking off. Can you imagine the Air Force crew that knew that those people were hanging on for dear life and had to take off anyway, and they're falling from the plane? I mean, this is a colossal mismanagement of major proportions in Kabul, Afghanistan. And my question is, they're going to bring those people, those immigrants from Afghanistan to American military bases. Then what are they going to do with them? I mean, have they vetted any of them?
Probably
I know a lot of they're airlifting a lot of the Americans out. It so reminds me of Saigon and the Vietnam War and the fall of Saigon, doesn't it? And you remember those people rushing the rooftops of buildings in Saigon, trying to get on helicopters to be airlifted out as the North Koreans or the North Vietnamese were coming into Saigon. And it's the same thing. But thousands of Afghanis rushed onto the tarmac of airplanes trying to take off. And it's mass confusion and chaos. And of course, Biden is at Camp David. He's on vacation. So President Biden, up until 3:45 yesterday, was on vacation. Jen Psaki, gone. Kamala Harris, nothing. You don't hear a peep out of any of those people. It's ridiculous. There is pictures of some of these people on a plane that have been, they got them on a plane, they got them out of Kabul. Can you show the picture? There they are. Do you see any women or children on that plane?
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Do you see any women and children sitting on that plane? I think I sent you another picture earlier there are like 600 that are in this Air Force
plane. So how
plane.
much did they have to pay to get on that flight?
I have no idea, but I don't see any women and children there.
They left them behind.
What is going on with that? Because you see women and children rushing on the tarmac.
Maybe that's the Afghan army. That's why they had to. That's why they didn't defend anything.
The translators,
they all got on the plane and left.
The president bailed. The president of Afghanistan bailed. Right? Why? Because he knew he was going to be dead meat. Whatever happened to going down with your ship? Whatever happened to staying in your country?
Yeah, I don't think.
And the guy hightailed it out of the country on Sunday. Are you kidding me?
Modern day dictators and presidents don't do that.
He's gone. He just leaves the country. See ya. Get out the best way you can, guys. I can't help you here. And I'm just going. And listen, do I think that we should have been in Afghanistan for 20 years? Absolutely not. Do I think we should have been there for 5 years? Absolutely not. If the citizens of Afghanistan cannot defend their own country after they were trained by our own military for a number of years, and God knows how much money, then we should have been out of there 15 years ago.
Probably.
And of course, President Biden says the responsibility is going to lie with him, right?
He blamed Trump.
He blamed Trump, and then he blamed the Afghanistan citizens yesterday. First, he blames Trump.
He called them a bunch of pussies. What did he do?
I was dealt the hand that was given to me. No. The hand was dealt by President Bush, who was backed into a corner and really had to do something with Afghanistan.
Because of Al Qaeda.
And then it continued under President Obama and Vice President. What's that guy's name? It's the Vice President for 8 years.
Dan Quayle.
Oh no. President Biden.
Oh,
Vice President Biden.
yeah, he was there.
Yeah, wasn't he there?
Yeah.
I think he was there. Do we have
No.
the initial speech? It was one of the speeches where he was saying that nothing was going to. I don't know which video you have.
How
but
many
play a video.
thousands and
I came
thousands
into
of
office.
America? Oh, go ahead.
I inherited a deal that President Trump negotiated with the Taliban. Under his agreement, U.S. forces would be out of Afghanistan by May 1, 2021, just a little over 3 months after I took office. U.S. forces had already drawn down during the Trump administration from roughly 15,500 American forces to 2,500 troops in country. And the Taliban was at its strongest militarily since 2001. The choice I had to make as your president was either to follow through on that agreement or be prepared to go back to fighting the Taliban in the middle of the spring fighting season.
Spring fighting
There would have been
season?
no
I
ceasefire.
have
The
no
hell is
idea.
that?
I have no
Don't
idea.
they fight all year
No
round?
agreement protecting our forces after May 1. There was no status quo of stability without American casualties after May 1. There was only the cold reality of either following through on the agreement to withdraw our forces or escalating the conflict and sending thousands more American troops back into combat in Afghanistan,
Which is what we've done.
lurching into
Lurching.
the third decade of conflict. I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. That's why we're still there. We were clear-eyed about the risks. We planned for every contingency, but I always promised the American people that I would be straight with you. The truth is,
It's Trump's
this
fault.
did unfold
That's
more
what he said.
quickly than we had anticipated.
That's what he said. He said it's Trump's fault.
So what's happened?
Okay, so there's another video. And by the way, you can't withdraw 2,500 troops and then send back 6,000 that are unplanned. That's a fail.
Yeah,
That is a fail.
That's
That's
a
not
bad
that's
idea.
not a drawdown. That is a bad idea.
Couldn't we get our U.S. citizens out of there first before we decided to
It
evacuate
was-
everything?
Colossally mismanaged. It was.
How'd you like to be some
there
guy
was-
from Denver there on a business trip?
There's people there from the Washington Post. There are journalists there from the New York Times. There are
Well, not anymore.
American
We're going to be
contractors in Kabul, Afghanistan. This happened within a matter of days.
we're going to be giving up more prisoners to get those people out.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And then you have the airport. I mean, Bagram Air Force Base was there. They closed that in the beginning of July. And they knew once they closed that air base, there might be trouble trying to get people out of Afghanistan through the Kabul airport.
Yeah, why don't we get them out
because
first?
the Taliban is standing there shooting and beating people trying to get into the airport. And the Taliban really took over in just a matter of days. There's another video. I don't know. It was hooked to a tweet. Did you get that, Austin? It was one of the last ones. But this is the one that you and I talked about the other day where he's basically saying that the Taliban isn't going to take over.
Right.
Is that tweet? I don't know if you have that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, let me.
It wasn't Trump's fault then, was it?
I don't think so. I was going to try to play it from here, but now I can't.
We have that technology.
I was going to try to play it from my phone, but
Can you send me that link?
I thought I did.
What's the
send it
number
to you.
one rule of media?
Here, let me.
don't.
I'll show it to you here. And then when you
Oh, okay. I have that. I think I have that picture.
you have that picture, you don't have that audio.
I didn't think it was a clip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a clip within that tweet. But basically he's saying, oh yeah, none of this is going to happen. What's happening today in Kabul, Afghanistan, President Biden said it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen under my watch.
It wasn't Trump's fault then.
There are over 7 dead in the chaos, 7 or 8 at the Kabul airport, and it's never going to happen under his watch, right? Not going to happen. And so you look at 20 years and trillions of dollars and countless lives. And there is a video of Americans training these Afghani militants. Did you see this?
Yeah.
So we trained them to take care of themselves.
A joke, though, a little bit.
I don't think it's a joke.
To be.
Can you play the video where? Okay, go ahead.
I mean, come on. This is like Stripes.
Some of them got it. The majority don't. This is the fighting force that we trained.
That's because they're showing them in English.
Oh, they're showing them in English.
Right?
You're funny. You're a funny guy.
No, this is a joke.
That is not a joke.
It has to be.
I don't think that's a joke.
Okay. Death to America. Death to America.
Right? And of course, Biden and the State Department have issued a dire warning to the Taliban that you make women a part of this whole process.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Okay.
Were those Kimberly, were those the guys that all ended up on that plane?
Yeah, I think those are the guys that all ended up on.
Those are the smart guys
on that
said,
plane.
"To hell with this. Let's get on the plane."
Right, exactly. And then, of course, I think we've all seen the video where they're running onto the airport. I don't know if we have that video or not. Do we have that video, Austin? So that's those are the guys on the plane
that were working out.
There's all the people. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, there's the one guy. He's like he's on spring break. Woo!
I guess the hope was as the landing gear goes up, they can climb in the little well where the tire is.
No.
But don't they realize these planes go so far up in the air anyways, you'll freeze to death?
And then people started falling off of the plane.
You're supposed to hang on to a plane going 400 miles an hour?
That happened.
Right.
People falling off that plane happened. Even as they were going, oh yeah, you can see them falling. Even as you can see the plane going, even trying to jump off at that speed, those guys would have suffered severe injuries, I think.
That was a bad idea.
Can you play that again from the beginning? I mean, look how fast that's going. I mean, it really.
Where are the Avengers when you need them?
I mean, even jumping off at that point. I mean, that's shocking, isn't it? I'm getting off right there. I'm done at that point. I'm done. I'm done.
That's the point you're getting off right there?
I think that's so. So the State Department warned the Taliban that you better make sure that there's no retaliation against any of the interpreters or women whatever. And they want women to be a whole part of this new process. And apparently the Biden State Department doesn't understand how, they work things in the Taliban.
No, they don't get it.
Under the Taliban rule, women are not allowed to, 1, work outside the home, 2, attend school, or 3, leave their home without a male escort and be fully covered body and face at all time. In fact, the females working at banks in Kabul have been told to stay home. And if they have a male relative, that male relative can come into the bank and work for them. Isn't that nice?
Perfect.
Isn't that a nice way to go? There is a picture that, because it's been 20 years where they've kind of been getting, to a more democratic way of life. And there are beauty salons in Kabul and outside of the city of Kabul where women go to get manicures and they go to have their hair colored.
Not anymore.
And there are pictures. Those have been covered up with paint. Those pictures, those billboards on the side of buildings have been painted over. You will not see that in and around Kabul now that the Taliban have taken over. It was a Western journalist that took that picture, and she took that picture several days before the Taliban entered and took control of Kabul. And she says that those pictures have now been painted over. So there you have it. Women are in danger. Women have to go back. I mean, this is 20 years. I mean, there have been kids born in 20 years that all they know is really the kind of life they've had. And now the Taliban says, hey, if you're a woman, you are not allowed to go to a beauty salon. You are not allowed to have a manicure. You are not allowed to go to school. You are not allowed to go to work. You can't go out without an escort, a male escort, a family member. I mean, it's insanity. The whole thing is insane. The Taliban need to be destroyed. And that's the thing. Who's vetting these people that are just jumping on the plane and coming over? Is anyone? How can they possibly be able to look into
why couldn't they
all
just
of these
split
people?
the country in half? You know, who knows?
So Biden and the State Department demanding that women have a role in government. I don't know if they're smoking the crack. I don't know. But, you know, people in hell and ice water, people in hell want ice water. They're not going to, the women are not going to be included.
No.
And I know that the Taliban have said, oh, yeah, we won't retaliate. You can't trust the Taliban.
Really?
You can't. No, of course not.
Is that a fresh statement from Kimberly
Right?
Ray?
You can't trust.
You
Honestly,
can't trust the
you
Taliban.
Can't
Who
trust the Taliban.
Pretty trustworthy soul. Why not?
So that is my thought. And I just, the stunning photo, there's another photo with not only the men on the plane, but there's like 600 Afghanis packed inside a U.S. Air Force plane. Have they tested them for COVID? Have they? I mean, honestly.
What do you think? Sure. Yes, they have.
I mean,
they gave them an Abbott 5-minute rapid test.
Here's the picture. Can you see that? 600 inside. That picture was taken from the ramp of a C-17 Globemaster 3.
Couldn't we have made a couple more
C-17
flights
Globemaster
a couple
3.
weeks ago? I mean, if we kind of knew.
Again, the name of today's show is.
I mean, we probably could have gotten a lot of those planes there, right?
Fail to plan is a plan to fail.
Right.
Had President Biden.
Sounds like the Titanic. We didn't have enough lifeboats.
His minions, basically, had they been able to get this situation under control several weeks ago, we wouldn't be here now. What is Afghanistan's biggest trade?
Guns.
Drugs. Yeah. Heroin, opium. I mean, so that means that basically now with the Taliban back in control, there's really going to be a huge ton of drugs coming back into the United States.
All right.
Because of the Taliban rule. I mean, it's just a colossal failure on Biden's part. I mean, the whole thing is sickening, to watch us. And it's sickening to see what's going to happen if any U.S. citizens are left behind in this melee.
It's going to be thousands of them.
Yeah. And you know what they do? They're like ISIS. They'll just shoot them or cut their heads off in the middle of the streets.
I think they will hold them as hostages and we will have to pay billions to get them back, would be my guess.
Well, we've got the money. So why not just,
let's give another
right?
terrorist organization billions of dollars. Maybe the Taliban can get an atomic bomb. They probably already got one.
Donald Trump had crooked world leaders hiding. If we're going to get fucked up by another country, it's going to be while this bumbling fuck is president. Yeah, I guess. Just to let you know, the Chinese and Russian militaries have teamed up for a series of joint exercises that have allowed them to observe each other's methods and weaponry. And if you don't think that that's scary, I don't know how else to explain it to you. Both countries say they are working on bilateral military relations. Chinese and Russian militaries teaming up together to work on their weaponry and military exercises together. That's
Good luck with that. I don't know what to say. I think we're screwed.
China and Russia are touting their close ties. In the meantime, we're getting pissed at people that don't list their correct pronouns on Twitter.
Right.
That's where we are. We have people in Biden's cabinet.
They have no business being there.
That aren't what they should be. I mean, look at the Department of Health guy. Right? Well, I can't say guy because I Her, right? I should use the correct, pronouns here when we're talking, right? It's the one that looks like it's got the long grayish blonde hair and the glasses. Used to be a guy, is
She
now
looks
a girl.
like the guy from an Independence Day.
Yes, so she
Right.
looks like the scientist
Right.
from Independence Day,
Yeah.
and I know maybe, but here we are. China
Who
and
cares
Russia
what people look like?
are
Can,
teaming up
can they do the job?
to do
If they
military
can't do the
extras.
job, then get them the hell out of there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, one of the guys.
I think I could be president better than this clown.
It's
And
the
I'm
whole,
stupid.
the whole thing is scary because here's what we're doing. We have softened our entire America is soft.
Oh, yeah.
America is soft.
And it's not going to get any harder.
But that is what Biden is a weak president. Yeah. None of the administration should be there. There is, so the girl that plays tennis, what is her name? She
Chris
is
Everett, Lloyd.
No. Naomi Osaka.
Oh yeah.
The one that said, I'm not playing tennis and I'm not doing any interviews because
Big upset. She
the
lost in the Olympics.
reporters are mean and they make me feel bad. And I don't want to play tennis. And if I have to answer reporters' questions, those mean old bad reporters that make me feel bad because mentally I'm not right.
She's not an American, is she? What country is
Naomi Osaka is actually American.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
she from? Who knew?
So
Haven't watched sports in a long time.
they called this reporter from the Cincinnati Press a bully. He asked her a question, a normal question, and she starts to cry. I can't for the life of me figure it out. Can we play that?
The question was that you're not especially fond of dealing with the media, especially in this format. You have suggested there are better ways to do it, that we'd like to try to explore that. My question, I guess, was you also have outside interests beyond tennis that are served by having the platform that the media presents to you. My question is, how do you think you might be able to best balance the two?
I mean, for me, I feel like this is something that I can't really speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself, but ever since I was younger, I've had a lot of media interest on me, and I think it's because of my background as well as, how I play. Because in the first place, I'm a tennis player. That's why a lot of people are interested in me. So I would say in that regards, I'm quite different to a lot of people, and I can't really help that there are some things that I tweet or some things that I say that kind of create a lot of news articles or things like that. And I know that it's because I've won a couple Grand Slams and I've gotten to do a lot of press conferences that these things happen. But I would also say, like, I'm not really sure how to balance it too. Like, I'm figuring it out at the same time as you are, I would say.
Okay.
Was that an answer?
Thank you, Paul. We're
Wait
going
for
to do 4 more questions or 4 more journalists. We're going to go Courtney,
Here it
Jeff,
comes.
Stuart, and then Ben Rothenberg. So Courtney, please go ahead and state your name and publication, please. Thank you.
Courtney Nguyen, WTA Insider. Hello, Naomi. Hopefully it's okay if I ask a couple of tennis questions.
She starts to cry.
The first one is just how the training has been and how your preparation has been for the summer hard court swing. And the second one is just related to your tweet over the weekend, related to what's going on in Haiti. Just what your reaction is to the news there. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're super good.
Okay, so let's just stop it right there. So the guy from the Cincinnati Enquirer asked her how she balances not being crazy dealing with the media while using her media platform to promote outside interests. He's now been labeled a bad guy bully reporter. The question that guy, so he asked a question that I thought was fairly respectful and legitimate. Okay, so you don't want to deal with the media when it comes to your playing and your sport, but when it comes to promoting something you're advertising or something that you're making money off of, then it's a different question, right? And she starts to cry because that's how soft we are. That is where we are with an entire generation of kids that can't hold it together for a second.
Yeah, you wouldn't see Serena Williams doing
For
that.
God's sakes, did the guy ask her a question that was, completely off limits? Did he say, "Hey, listen, you're being a little bitch with reporters"? How do you do that and then want to use the media to promote other things? He didn't say that. He asked her a very respectful question, and that is the way that she responded. Finally breaking down into tears because I don't know why. I've watched this over and over, and I cannot figure out why in the world she started crying. I don't get it.
Well, if you don't get it, I mean, I certainly don't get it. I watched plenty of press conferences over the years with sports personalities. I mean, Serena Williams handles herself perfectly. What's the difference in her pressure? I mean, they all have pressure on them, right?
They all have pressure.
I
I mean, you
mean,
look at that and you go, "Oh,
they've all
man,
been coddled their entire lives.
we're so screwed."
Yeah.
We are so
Well, especially tennis
screwed.
players. I mean, she's been coddled her entire life since she was, before she can even remember.
And I don't even know where it comes. I mean, again, I thought this was a very respectful question, but that's where we are, and that's what she did. But now that the reporter is being labeled a bully, that was not a bully question.
No,
that was a standard question. I just wouldn't cover her anymore. I wouldn't go to her. I wouldn't ask her questions. She'd be a non-entity to me. Okay, you don't want to play along. You want to make the money from the game, but you don't want to do, and take part in any of the responsibilities that comes with your status as a tennis player. And that's basically what it says.
American tennis player.
Right. There is other audio that is kind of making waves. Hope Solo is a soccer player.
The goalie.
Yeah, she was on the team with that won the All-Star team, right? For US, Team USA. And she is the former soccer goalie. And she said that basically Megan Rapinoe bullied the teammates into kneeling for the national anthem. I think we have the audio.
Really?
Yeah.
Threw her right under the bus.
Yeah.
I think the rhetoric surrounding this team has been both divisive and inclusive. I guess it's kind of where we are in politics in this day and age. But I think the kneeling thing can be very divisive. I've seen Megan Rapinoe almost bully players into kneeling because she really wants to stand up for something in her particular way. But it's our right as Americans to do it, in whatever way we're comfortable with.
So that was Hope Solo. She played with Megan Rapinoe from 2006 until Hope retired in 2016. And she says basically, Megan Rapinoe, who is one of the leaders on the team, made others feel bad if they didn't follow her lead and kneel. That's kind of a caustic environment, wouldn't you say?
Well, we don't know. We weren't there. So, it's one against the other. But I mean, Hope Solo's been a leader of that, USA soccer for years.
Right.
She's very outspoken herself.
She is very outspoken. So she said, "Hey, listen, there were girls that felt bullied on the U.S. women's soccer team by Megan Rapinoe to kneel." So I did, listen, a bully is, I think, a word that is often overused, but I don't think that reporter was bullying the tennis player.
No.
But I can totally see how a leader on a soccer team might say, "Hey, you might want to follow our political lead here and kneel." But if I'm on the soccer team, if I don't want to kneel, I am certainly not kneeling at all. Chris Cuomo from CNN.
Oh, all right. What did he do?
Has come out about his brother. Did you see this? Did you see? He breaks his silence on his brother and he says, "I've never misled anyone. The thing I got from this video was the fact that he sounds almost exactly like his brother."
His brother probably wrote it for him.
We have the video.
I've told you it's never easy being in this business and coming from a political family, especially now. This situation is unlike anything I could have imagined. And yet I know what matters at work and at home. Everyone knows you support your family. I know and appreciate that you get that. But you should also know I never covered my brother's troubles because I obviously have a conflict. And there are rules at CNN about that. I said last year that his appearances on this show would be short-lived. And they were. The last was over a year ago, long before any kind of scandal. I also said back then that a day would come when he would have to be held to account, and I can't do that. I said point blank, I can't be objective when it comes to my family. So I never reported on the scandal. And when it happened, I tried to be there for my brother. I'm not an advisor. I'm a brother. I wasn't in control of anything. I was there to listen and offer my take. And my advice to my brother was simple and consistent. Own what you did. Tell people what you'll do to be better. Be contrite. And finally, accept that it doesn't matter what you intended. What matters is how your actions and words were perceived. And yes, while it was something I never imagined ever having to do, I did urge my brother to resign when the time came. There are stories and critics saying all kinds of things about me, many unsupported. But know this, my position has never changed. I never misled anyone about the information I was delivering or not delivering on this program. I never attacked nor encouraged anyone to attack any woman who came forward. I never made calls to the press about my brother's situation. I never influenced or attempted to control CNN's coverage of my family. And as you know, back in May, when I was told to no longer communicate with my brother's aides in any group meetings, I acknowledged it was a mistake. I apologized to my colleagues, and I stopped, and I meant it.
So there he is. It's Chris Cuomo from CNN, but he didn't mention anything about taking advantage of, being the governor's brother and getting early COVID tests before COVID tests were even available to the rest of us. He certainly didn't mention that he got in the, with the, inoculations, the COVID shots, that they got their COVID shots way before anyone else did. Their mother got them, all of the family, Chris Cuomo, all of his family, all of his kids, the wife, everyone kind of got preferential treatment when it came to getting the vaccination first before anyone else got the vaccination. That's a true statement. They got the COVID testing before anyone else. They received preferential treatment because he's the governor's brother. And the Washington Post had reported that Chris Cuomo had participated in strategy calls with Governor Cuomo and senior members of his staff in regard to the allegations against him. He had been taking part in these strategy sessions for months. He makes it seem like it's a one-time deal. It's not a one-time deal. He was taking part in all of these strategy sessions.
Yeah, what is he supposed to do though? Just, yeah, you're right.
You're on your own, buddy. You have a brother, right? If I had a brother that was in the same circumstance and I'm on and I'm on a major news network, I'm not taking part in strategy sessions on how to appear to the media. It's a conflict of interest.
He did what he had to do to deflect himself
as
away.
A person of the media.
He's just deflecting like all Democrats do. Deflect and move on. It's not, I didn't do anything here. I didn't do anything. Didn't he have issues with women in his past as well?
Who, Chris Cuomo?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. He sounds like him though, doesn't he?
I don't know.
The voice is similar.
He did. I mean, he did what he had to do, deflect blame. It's not his, he didn't do anything.
In order to keep his job. Is that what he's doing? Is that a, hey, I'm trying to keep my job speech right there?
Right. It's exactly what it is.
It's a good one. Yeah. I'm sure his brother, the governor, helped him write it.
Yeah. Very, very eloquent speaker.
And to my knowledge, I don't believe Governor Cuomo has submitted any resignation or retirement papers as of today, which is the 17th.
Really?
Nothing has been written. Nothing has come up in the press documents, right? Nothing has come out on Twitter that Governor Cuomo has submitted his resignation or retirement papers. Have you heard that?
He just gave him his 2 weeks notice. That's what I heard.
He's had a whole week.
Well,
What you been doing?
Human resources is slow.
It is Albany. It is Albany, by the way.
Right.
Tomorrow we have on Rob Astorino, who has who ran
Excited.
for governor against Governor Cuomo. And he had something that he put out on Twitter the other day that hundreds of undocumented immigrants from the southern border have been flown into Westchester County Airport by the feds in
Shocker.
secret nighttime flights. The question is, why is it secret? Where are these people being resettled? How long has it been going on? Have any of them been tested for COVID? They say that 15% of the illegal immigrants coming in at the southern border are all infected with COVID.
So wait a minute here.
15%.
So you're telling me that they can fly illegal immigrants from South America through the Mexican border to Long Island, but we can't get a couple thousand people out of Afghanistan?
Or did you say Afghanistan?
Yes.
Yes, Afghanistan.
So we can manage to fly thousands of people all over the United States and drop them into places that they don't need to be.
Apparently this has
but
been
we can't get people out of Afghanistan that need to get out.
Right.
Right.
Right. That's what, yes, that's what you're hearing.
That makes sense to me.
Apparently it's been happening since April. It was smaller then. The flight are bigger now. I think that 15% is very late for COVID infections coming from the border. I don't think I understand that. I think that 15% is very late. No, very light. Is that what you mean? I don't know. I heard this morning that at least 15% they think of the illegals coming in from the southern border are infected with COVID. And that was just a rough estimate.
Well, once they're 15% and they come across the border and they all sit next to each other,
then it doubles. Oh, you think the 15% is low?
Yeah.
Patty says that she thinks the 15%, it could very well be low. I mean, but when I hear 15%, I mean, that's a big, but listen, you have to make sure if you're in New York City, you show that you've been vaccinated, or you're not going to get to go into any restaurant. They can bring these thousands of illegals into Westchester County. And where are they taking them once they land in Westchester County?
Holiday Inn.
Are they bringing them up to upstate New York? Are any of them coming in to Rochester or Syracuse or Buffalo? You know they're not keeping them all in New York City. We know that, right? Anytime New York City wants to get rid of their trash, where do they send it? Upstate New York. So they're flying these people into New York City and they're or Westchester County, and they're shipping them elsewhere. So where is the elsewhere? That's what we're going to talk to Rob Astorino about tomorrow.
Okay.
That and his take, of course, on the debacle that Afghanistan has become now with the airport and the people who are dying left and right, and the U.S. citizens and journalists and translators who are still there trying to get out but cannot get out. I mean, the whole thing is FUBARD. Big time.
What are we going to do here?
I'm glad you have a take. Tom's got a take.
I do.
What's your take?
My take for today. Hang on, I got to get my glasses.
Where are your glasses? Oh, not on.
You know, as you get older, you
Yeah.
have more face. You know, what are you supposed to do with it? Is that why you get a facelift?
Well, you have more face.
You
What do
can make a
mean?
lot more stupid faces because they're.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
Man, I'll tell you, you're deep.
getting old.
You got a lot going on in that head of yours.
Part of the $66 billion infrastructure plan for Amtrak, I guess there's a Canadian luxury train that is going called the Rocky Mountaineer.
Wait, this is U.S. infrastructure. Why are we talking about a Canadian
'Cause
train?
we're moving Canadian trains to the west. This
Okay, I don't think I
from
understand that.
Denver to Moab, Utah is a 2-day
It's Moab.
Moab.
Uh-huh.
Moab.
Yeah.
Cool kids call it Moab.
Okay, nope, it's Moab.
Bruckner.
Yeah.
So a 2-day, 1-night trip, right? And you don't get to stay on the plane because you can't on the train because
Okay.
you can't sleep on it.
Okay.
So you have to get off and go to a hotel. But part of this trip, it's $1,250 a person for 2 days and $1,645 for if you want the upgraded spot.
Okay.
for 2 days. So it's like 3-4 grand.
I've never been on a train.
For 2 days. In other words, this is the fast ferry all over again. We're putting all this money into this things that we're calling infrastructure. This thing will be out of business in 5 years.
Does it belong to Canada? You said it was
no. We bought the train from Canada.
We
apparently.
bought the train from Canada,
something like that.
and
It
it's
was
part
made
of the
in
new
Canada.
infrastructure.
Yeah,
and it goes from where to Moab?
I don't know, but the point is that we have these programs, trains. Nobody's going to do it once the first year or two is over. Who the hell's going to take a train? You know. People don't.
I take a train once just to say I've been. I've
I've
never been.
Did you ever go on the fast ferry?
I know they shut it down before we ever got a chance
I didn't
to
go
go
on it either. Why didn't you go on it? It was too damn expensive.
No, there wasn't time. There was, honestly, it wasn't even up and running that long, the fast ferry that we had here.
Yeah, so that'll be broke in 5 years. So whatever money that we're given to these companies to
trillions, right? Of dollars.
Yeah, all
for
these
the infrastructure.
they have to spend the money. So they're spending it on whatever they want to spend it on, and it'll all be gone, and everybody will be broke again.
There you go.
And we'll be paying the bill for years and years and years.
Michael said he was hit by a train and survived.
Nice.
My parents took a trip to the Grand Canyon. Hey, you guys, Catholic Family Services has a hand in bringing in the illegal immigrants. I'm sure they've been very busy bringing in the illegals that have been flown into Westchester, thousands of them.
Do you know an underrated movie?
An underrated movie.
Armageddon, underrated. You know, Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis.
Okay.
You know what it's about?
It's an old movie.
It's an old movie. You know what it's about?
Never saw it.
It's about an asteroid that's going to hit the Earth, right?
Okay.
Do you know there's a real asteroid coming here?
There have been a couple that have flown by.
It's called Bennu. There's a freaking asteroid coming here.
I think we're going to be all right.
They did a study for 2 years, and it said that before we thought there was a 1 in 2,700 chance that this asteroid that's been floating around the solar system,
Bennu,
it's just been floating around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just up there, just
It
hanging
went
out?
from 1 in 2,700 to 1 in 1,750. The chance that this asteroid hits the Earth. And do you know when they think it might happen? The year 2300. What?
We're not going to be around. Okay,
2300?
I have plenty of time to do
Why are
everything.
we spending money to find out where the hell this asteroid is going?
That's a good question. So they're
All right.
spending money on the infrastructure on that?
No, that's just a side thing.
All right, very good. Very good.
Those are both CNN news stories.
And
apparently.
that's
okay.
why
Now
they're
I got one
stupid.
more thing.
That's why they're stupid.
Do you know you could smoke weed at the fair this year?
I did not.
Yes.
I don't even go to the fair. Do you
It
go to
is
the fair?
legal.
Austin, you go to the fair?
Well, I might now.
Yeah. Okay.
It is legal to smoke weed at the fair. But guess what? You know where you have to smoke weed?
Well, how do you do that with your mask on? Are they making you mask up at
No.
the fair?
You
Aren't
have
they
to
making
go,
you mask up at the fair?
You have to go to the smoking area.
The smoking section.
Like junior year of high school.
That's like being
You have to
discriminated
go to the
against.
smoking section
Mhm.
to smoke weed with the leopards we know as cigarette smokers.
Right, right.
But can you just imagine this topic? You know, you're sitting there walking through the fair.
Yeah.
And, you know, Johnny looks over to Joe and says, "Hey, Joe, why don't we walk over to the smoking area and, you know, have a joint?" And Joe would look at him. It's like, well, we've been smoking weed at the fair every year, just walking around because everybody can smell it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So why the hell are you going to, nobody's going to go to the smoking area to smoke weed because they're just going to smoke it wherever they are.
Very good. Great Tom's take.
Well, I mean, what's the point of this?
I don't go to the fair, so it's it's not something. You've been to one fair, you've been to all the fairs. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well,
that is all I'm going to say
All
about
right.
that. All right. Remember, if you are in, the business of trying to find a house or you want to sell your house, you can get a hold of us. Too much skin. You are getting older. You might want to look into a facelift.
You get some Botox.
You can check us out here at Revere
So how does
Realty.
that Botox work, Kimberly?
I don't know. I've only had it once.
You
I
did,
had it
really?
I had it a couple of years ago. I didn't like it. I mean, I had it like right here for the 11s and it didn't really work very well because obviously the 11s are still there. But if it makes you feel better and you want to get a facelift or Botox, I
No.
say, what the hell?
I'm
Have at
I'm
it.
gonna stick with this for the rest
You
of the term.
You got that old mug.
I only got a couple years left anyways.
There you go. Of course, you can reach out to us here at Revere Realty at the We the People Podcast Network. And Rob Astorino is on with us tomorrow. And as always,
No weed smokers are ever going to go to the smoking area. God bless. Be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.